Evening. I've got a feeling that I'm going to clean up here tonight. As a senior BBC Radio 2 announcer, I'll rake it in here.
One moment, Weepart.
It's the governor of the BBC Board of Directors.
If you accept one more penny piece of charity from members of the public, you will be dismissed on the spot. I did warn you last week.
Ah, that was my brother.
Your brother?
I'm Bill's sister.
Poppycock.
No, Poppy Pertwee.
Piffle.
That was my maiden name.
Poppy Piffle?
You remember me? I'm definitely Bill's sister.
Then what are you doing with a 3-day growth of beard?
I'm minding it for a friend.
Nonsense. I've never heard anything so outrageous in all my life.
Then obviously you've never heard Jimmy's Cricket Team starring Jimmy Cricket.
Bill Pertwee is a National Theatre player. He plays the spoons outside the National Theatre. A man of many parts held together by 3.5 yards of sticky tape. A man with an interesting story to tell. That's why I'm proud to say tonight, Bill Pertwee, this is your life. Could we have a drum roll, please? Thank you. Bill Pertwee.
Yes.
Good. Do you recognize this voice?
He was always a good lad. He never caused me any trouble.
Mother.
Unfortunately, she can't be with us tonight, as she can't stand the sight of you. When you were born, you came as a complete surprise to your father. He was expecting a Black & Decker workbench. With the onset of war, you didn't flinch. Kaiser Bill held no fears for you. When the drums of war sounded, you didn't hesitate. You borrowed your auntie's frock and served for 3 years behind the bacon counter at the co-op.
I don't like this bit.
I want you to listen to this voice. It's the voice of a lady who's been at your side through good times and bad.
Bill proposed to me at the local Saturday night dance. Always the romantic. He proposed as the band was playing The Old Grey Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be.
Yes, your wife.
Phoebe.
Unfortunately, she can't be with us tonight, as she's carrying on with the milkman.
I'm losing my dignity here. This isn't a proper, this is your life. What about all the famous people who admire and respect me as an actor?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Here with his own tribute to as an actor is the great Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Set off, you bum!
I am, mate.
Hello?
I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, not at all.
Have you got a light?
Certainly.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure. Now we... Hello?
It's gone out.
Sorry.
Ta very much.
Anytime. Next.
It's nice sitting here wearing 3 pairs of trousers and 4 shirts.
I'm wearing 4 pairs of trousers, 4 shirts, a sweater, and 2 cardigans.
That was the Chippendales on their day off.
I've heard it said that the countryside abounds with things of beauty, but I have never seen anything as beautiful as that.
Not never. That is breathtaking, that is. I has not never seen a compost heap like it in all my born days.
Not never. That be your finest compost heap ever, Toby.
I knew it were extra special when I came out first thing.
How be that then, Toby?
All the cows and the sheep were unconscious. Oh, powerful stuff right enough.
No mistake.
What'd your missus say when she saw that compost heap? Cheerio. Got a bit upset when the wallpaper started peeling off.
What I think is that you should tell them common market people about your compost heap.
Prime Minister should know about this compost, Toby.
He does.
I dumped 2.5 tons of it outside number 10 yesterday.
Oh, the Prime Minister's house.
He comes out and I says to him, could you sell that compost heap overseas?
What the Prime Minister say?
He wiped the steam off his spectacles and he said,
I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
I can't talk to you just now. I'm on the phone.
I know, it's me. I've got some wonderful, fantastic news, and I wanted you to be the first to know, because you've always had time to listen to me troubles and woes when I was a woman alone.
You said you wanted me to be the first to know. The first to know what?
I'm getting married.
I don't believe it.
It's a fact. I'm getting married.
Well, that really is wonderful news, and I'm very pleased for you. Who's the lucky man?
Cliff Richard.
Just for a second, I could have sworn that you said...
Cliff Richard.
Just hold on a minute. Are we talking about the same person here? Cliff Richard, the pop singer?
That's the one.
Cliff Richard, the international megastar idolized by countless millions?
You've heard of him?
Heard of Cliff Richard? Well, he's a household name.
He's asked me to marry him.
I don't believe this.
That's what the girl said at the biscuit factory where I work as a cracker packer.
Are you kidding me?
We're getting married.
When?
Marriage is not the sort of thing you rush into.
Of course not.
In about 20 minutes.
No, I'm sorry. I just don't believe this.
Right. Do you want to have a word with him?
He's with you now? Cliff Richard is with you at this very minute?
He is that. Hang on a minute and I'll put him on. Hey, Cliff, have a word with him and tell him yourself.
This is Cliff Richard speaking.
Cliff Richard?
That is a fact.
Well, you sound different over the phone.
A lot of people have said that.
And you're actually going to marry this lady?
That is a fact, without a doubt.
Now do you believe me?
Only one thing would convince me.
I know what you're going to say. You want to hear him sing?
If I could hear Cliff singing one of his greatest hits, then I'd believe you.
Right, Cliff, sweetheart. Singing one of your greatest hits.
Righto. I got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking, living doll.
Give it to him, Cliff.
I got to do my best to please her, just because she's a living doll.
It's me he's singing about. Go on, Cliff.
Got the roving eye, and I think the why. She doesn't find my door.
Here, do that.
Got the words I'm doing. A walking, a talking, a living doll. And mommy.
Hey, are you satisfied now?
Oh, we're all going off the song, they're off again.
I haven't got the heart to tell her. I hope they'll be very happy together. No matter what their relationship is like, I don't think they'll ever be as much in love as this couple.
Have you the remotest idea of just how empty my life is without you? When you're not here, the day seems to have 1,000 hours, empty and meaningless hours. When you're near me, I walk as though I had wings, like someone in love. Never, never, ever let me go, because I adore you, worship you with a love I find so terribly difficult to contain. When you are here, so is spring, and the most barren of landscapes is transformed, filled with sweet-scented blossoms and the song of exotic birds. Thank you. If I were to be granted just 3 wishes, the first would be to hold your tiny, gentle hand. The second would be to hold you close and feel the warmth of your sylph-like body. The third, no, I must deny myself. Thank you. I never believed that there was such a thing as a guardian angel. How wrong I was. I truly believe with all my heart that it was a guardian angel that led me that wonderful day into the pet shop on the corner of Tarryasson Street. The very pet shop where I first saw you behind the counter with an anxious look in your beautiful blue eyes. As you'd lost a canary. I knew what it was. I could quite easily have cupped it in my hands, but I didn't want to cause you any embarrassment.
Thank you.
It was then that I experienced something quite unique, something which I'd never experienced in all my long and lonely days. I felt a warmth, a sudden and unexpected warmth, which I'd never experienced before. Then I looked down and saw the Cocker Spaniel. I'm not blaming you.
Thank you.
Quite suddenly we found ourselves alone. I looked at you and I was stunned at your radiant, statuesque and quite awesome beauty. As you stood there, clutching a bonio.
Thank you.
The cockatoo fell off its perch. That's done it. That's the clincher. Garbage, this is pure garbage. A load of rubbish, and you're just as bad for doing it with me.
Thank you.
Come on in, you lot. Your tea's ready. Elsie, Norman, Jenny, Alice, Shirley, Tommy, Lillian, Bob, Jane, Claire, Deirdre, Vincent. Hey, Brian and you, Anthony. Carry your father in.
I liked her.
Did you, stupid man?
Her head was full of Jolly Robins.
You've never told me about your childhood, stupid man.
We didn't live anywhere what was posh.
No?
My mother had 2 up and 2 down. The doctor said it was very unusual. That's stupid, isn't it?
Just a bit.
But this fella ain't stupid. I think that this fella's a bit of a hard man, not frightened of anything.
And who's that?
You know who I mean.
My name is Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. My other eye's on the blink. It was getting dark. I drove down Midhurst, turned right into Lennox, got out and picked him up. I was in one of those more unusual jobs that crop up every once in a while. I was delivering 12 wooden legs to the waiters at the Store Club. I was a bit late and they were hopping mad. The joint was full of the usual deadbeat characters. I saw No-Nose Kelly and Dog-Faced Capaldi. 2 nice girls. The guy on the bandstand was singing with a spatty face and a dirty shirt. I'd heard more romantic songs. I climbed back into my car, drove down Millington, got out and placed him next to Lennox. I turned left at St. Michael's and right at Marks and Spencer's. When I got back to my office, there was a light shining onto the door. I had guests. Uninvited guests. I took my gun from my shoulder holster and checked if it was loaded. I picked my ear up and shoved it back in my pocket. I opened the door with misapprehension. She always helped me open doors. I stepped inside. The blonde dame draped over the easy chair was the kind of girl you could take home to mother if you tied father to the chair. She looked at me askance. I covered it up.
You weren't expecting me, Marlowe.
No, I ordered a pizza.
I like your quips.
I'll buy you a bag next time.
I need help, Marlowe. You've heard of the Venus diamond?
Stolen last night from the City Museum, worth $20 million.
Yes.
That's a lot of money for a museum. Why did you steal it?
How'd did you know that I'd stolen the Venus diamond?
I turned over 2 pages. You're in trouble because you don't know how to cash in on it.
You must know offense.
Try B&Q. You've come to the wrong guy.
You're not bringing the cops.
It's my job.
There's $10 million in it for you, Marlowe. We could hightail it out of the country. You could buy anything you want.
Hello?
Don't call the cops.
Hello, Trans World Airlines. I'd like 2 tickets on the next flight to Rio. The name's Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, and I used to be a private eye. I'm sorry to bother you like this, but I've been ringing you Samaritans all day and the phone's been engaged. Please, just listen to me because I'm really desperate for help. Since my business partner swindled me out of every penny I had, my wife's left me and taken the children. I've had to sell my home, my car. I've had to cash in all my insurance policies to pay off bad debts because I'm not entitled to any benefit. I'm without family, friends, and I'm now so impoverished I've been sleeping in the park. Please, can you help me?
I could if I wanted, but I'm not going to.
But you're a Samaritan.
I couldn't give a toss.
Why won't you help me?
I've got my funny set on. I'll go in the burning fire, I will.
Have you no compassion, no understanding of the terrible situation I'm in?
No. They must have been desperate when they made me a Samaritan. I've had people leaving here in tears. When did you last eat?
I haven't eaten for 3 whole days.
I've just had roast pork, roast potatoes, 2 bacon. It was delicious. It was a pity you weren't here.
Why?
You could have licked the plate. Oh, I don't know what my mother would say.
Right. I don't need you.
It's just as well.
I'm going over the road to the Salvation Army. They'll help me.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I'm the Salvation Army captain.
Nell, lass.
Ah, no, lad. No, I just can't, lad. I just can't take any more sorrow and heartache.
You'll be a happy woman when you hear what I've to say, Nell. Come in, lads.
Nell.
Seth Grointhorpe.
No.
And Jacob Crutchwell. What's all this about, lad?
We start tomorrow.
I don't believe it. Happen we was due some good news.
Tomorrow.
Been took on.
Just can't believe it ourselves.
What's the job?
What they're best at.
What we've been doing all our lives.
Back to our old job.
You mean...
First thing tomorrow.
I don't mind telling you, we just can't wait to...
Hey! Clear up! Get out of this house, the lot of you! You're ruining me good lino!
Meanwhile, back at the Grange...
Get off your phone!
Back at the Grange, the aged Dowager Marchioness was talking about her lost youth. Little did she know that he was hiding in a cupboard under the stairs. Meanwhile...
A letter has arrived from me mammy, so get lost while I read it. Dear Jimmy, I hope you can understand my writing. I've lost my reading glasses, I'm wearing my distant glasses, and using a pen 4 foot long. Your father is still causing me problems. He's gone to see the doctor to ask him for some sleeping tablets, as he has been awake all day. The doctor said that if he doesn't stop smoking and drinking the way he does, he'll be dead within 6 months. Your father said, that's terrible news, doctor. We'll all miss you. We had a lovely evening last night at the Women's Institute. A gentleman just back from the North Pole gave us a lecture with lantern slides about the life of the Eskimo. He showed us a slide of an Eskimo building an igloo. It seems that it's called an igloo because the egg's at the front and the... He said that at Christmas time, the Eskimos don't have turkey, they have a whale. It takes 46 of them to pull the wishbone. Your big Aunt Nora thought that she had gallstones. She went for an x-ray and they found that she'd swallowed her beads. She's bought herself one of those water beds. Your little Uncle John doesn't like it. He said it's like sleeping next to a submarine. When she turns over in her sleep, it takes him 20 minutes to get down from the top of the wardrobe. Your father has just got back from the job centre. He slumped in the chair with tears in his eyes. They found him a job. It's a 5-day week at the dog's home, but he doesn't think he'll be able to hold the post for that long. Before I close, I must tell you this latest bit of scandal. The other night, Joan opposite caught a peeping Tom looking through her window. She was going to charge him, but he only had 50p on him. That's all for now. Melanie. Buying this radio equipment is the best investment I ever made. Now I can call up all the other radio hams anywhere in the world. Here goes. This is Alpha Romeo Tango Foxtrot. Do you read me? Over.
Hello?
I've done it. Alpha Romeo Tango Foxtrot.
I think you must have the wrong number.
Are you Baker Delta Oscar?
No, I'm Charlie Willis, 27 the largest.
I'm trying to call New Zealand.
Well, I wish you luck. I've been half an hour trying to call my daughter in Halifax.
What's your call sign?
Pardon?
What's your call sign?
I've never given it much thought. When I come home, I walk in the back kitchen and say, I'm home.
What's your frequency?
At my age, not very often.
That you, Nora? It's me. I'll be late home tonight.
This is Alpha Romeo Tango Foxtrot.
Nora, are you at it again? Who's this Alf Foxtrot?
Knowing Nelly there, it's your father.
Emergency, which service do you require?
I'll throttle him when I get my hands on him.
I'll put you through to the police.
Look, what's going on here? I should have bought a telly.
Did you say my daughter, Nellie? Will you put it on?
This is Alpha Romeo Tango Foxtrot.
You leave my wife alone.
Nellie, the budgie snuffed it this morning.
This is an emergency. We don't deal with budgies that have snuffed it.
I give in.
We present Lady Chatterley's Milkman.
Could you... Could you give me... Could you give me a hand with this... with this empty milk bottle?
Hello?
Sorry to trouble you.
No trouble. What can I do for you?
I wonder, could you let me have a glass of water?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thank you. Half a glass is plenty. I was very thirsty. Much obliged.
Pleasure. Bye. Could I have your usual warm welcome for the delightful husband and wife singing duo of Daphne and Cyril Billington? The generosity of that applause shows just how much your public appreciate your work over the years.
Well, I know that I speak for my dear Daphne when I say that such adulation leaves us both feeling most unworthy.
As always, my darling Cyril is right. All I can say is that we will both continue to entertain our public to the very best of our ability.
My dear Daphne.
Darling Cyril.
And I'm told that you have been entertaining your public at a rather special venue only this very week.
Indeed, indeed. What a great privilege it was for my dear Daphne and I to appear at the Mecca of music in this country.
And where was that?
The Royal Halibut Oil.
Pardon?
The Royal Halibut Oil.
Oh, dearie, dearie me.
Let's have it.
It's nothing.
What have I said wrong this time?
The Royal Albert Hall.
I'll remember next time.
Who was the conductor?
Darling, we never travel by bus.
I pretend you didn't hear that.
He's having a go again. It's got to the stage when I'm practicing to open my mouth.
Then why do you?
Once more, I'm warning you now, just once more.
The audience must have had a musical treat that night.
Oh, a night of pure musical magic. The Royal Opera Company were quite superb.
Which opera did they sing?
Cozy Fanny's Tootie.
Pardon, Daphne?
Cozy Fanny's Tootie.
I simply can't let that one pass.
I didn't think you would. Go on.
How many times have I told you that it's Cosi fan tutte?
I'm not an opera singer. I'm sorry I got it wrong. It's Cozy Fan Piggin Tootie.
What about Beethoven?
He must have been on after us because I didn't see him.
Beethoven died in 1887.
Do you want to join him?
Not Daphne.
Hey, you, Umpty Dumpty Botnet! Do you think that I'm going to stand for this, for him? Just who do you think you are?
I feel sure you'll inform me.
The great I am. Look at him. Have you ever seen a face with so many wrinkles? Just look at those wrinkles. If you pull his ears up, you get a tune out of him. And I'll tell you something else.
I fancy this will be a gem. It might just be worth doing it in poker work and hanging it over the fireplace.
You talk about me? Let me tell you something for nothing. I've picked better than you up on a shovel.
Daphne, I think you've gone a bit too far this time.
She's only in second gear.
I have to live with that. I wish you could see him at home.
If I'm standing over the trap door, would someone kindly pull the lever?
He was in the garden this morning, in the garden on his hands and knees, nearly out of his mind. He was frantic.
Why?
The dog had buried his appliance.
I think it's about time you two retired from show business.
The most sensible words I've heard all night.
That was Jimmy's Cricket Team, starring Jimmy Cricket, with Bill Pertwee, Peter Goodright and Noreen Kershaw. Eddie Braben wrote the script, which has been sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions, and the show was produced at the Club Theatre Altrincham by Mike Craig, who is now sharing a flat with Salman Rushdie.
Hello?
Sorry to be a nuisance.
Not at all.
I forgot to give you the glass back.
Oh,
Here you are. Got it?
yeah, but I didn't expect to give it to you for nothing. Thank you.
Fortune's always hiding away from me. I've looked everywhere, but I just keep on blowing bubbles. I'm forgetting all my little troubles. I'm forever, ever, and ever blowing bubbles. Lots of pretty bubbles, big fat bubbles in